Good morning, everyone. Yes, I'm still stuck in the bedroom today. Everyone's working from home at the moment, so I've had to make myself a little bit scarce. After the heaviness of yesterday, I want to have a look at a really a lighter, boring, a roll eyes subject today of US politics. Please save me. So I want to have a quick look at DeSantis in his war against Disney. Oh, really? I saw a fabulous quote the other day that said, if you're down to the level that you're taking on a cartoon mouse there, then no testicle tanning will make you masculine. So, excuse my French there, but I just shake my head at what's happening with DeSantis in Florida at the moment. Also versus the CRT, I mean, what was it? There's 50-something maths books banned because they have critical race theory in them. Like, maths books? What? So I'll have a little look at that. One of what's happened is that because all these maths books have now been banned, it means that only one publisher is supplying all the maths books in Florida, and apparently the publisher has a connection to a Republican senator or House member or whatever in another state, so I just want to see if there's some dodgy business going on there. We'll have a look at Abbott and Beto in the Texas midterms and all that hoo-ha going on in there. If we get time, we'll have a look at McCartney in regards to the leaked the tapes that were leaked by New York Times with McCartney, and we'll just see how we go with time. So I want to have a look first at DeSantis. I mean, he's up for election in December. What is on earth he's thinking? Now, I was reading up on it today, and apparently Disney set up in Florida 50 odd years ago with an agreement with the government of the day that it would be self-governing. The area of the Disney theme park and a certain distance around it would be self-governing. Now, the reason they've done that is so that Disney maintains the areas around the park, the residential areas, keeps them clean and tidy and well manicured and graffiti and free and rubbish free and all the rest of it, so that the experience of Disney begins before you get to the park itself, of the happiest place on earth with these beautiful parks, etc. So by what DeSantis has apparently done, and what the government of Florida, the Republican government of Florida has done, has removed that agreement. It's already passed. However, the date for it to take effect is post-December election. So if it all goes to pot, they can blame whoever happens to be in government at that time, rather than actually taking the blame for the fallout themselves. So we'll have a quick look about, I'll get an overview and then I'll have a little look deeper. Tell me about the reason behind DeSantis. I mean, if you're going to take anybody on, why would you take Disney on? Quite all over. I think it was about the gay laws or something. I can't remember the history. It's become so convoluted and pointlessly convoluted. Tell me about DeSantis and Disney. What's going on with DeSantis? Why is DeSantis taking on Disney? 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 okay, this one wanted to fling out at me. So I'll take that as my signifier. Okay. It's creating a lot of anxiety. It's creating a lot of anxiety because for the same reason why the Air Force has said that they will transfer out people who have trans or gay children or family members or are them themselves, and they have hinted very strongly at actually closing bases, because if they're forced to transfer these people out, they cannot keep those bases in readiness, and it will actually affect the communities where those Air Force bases are situated. The same with Disney. If this goes, this is causing a lot of anxiety, because if this actually happens, there will be the communities around Disney will suffer greatly. But that wasn't my question. My question was DeSantis doing this for Disney, and I think this is DeSantis. He's despairing his hold in Florida. Now, I was drawn to behind, I don't know if you can see it. When I looked at this card, so I'll try and show it to you, this section here, when I glanced at this card, it looked very much like a devil figure behind the swords. This is very much a card about mental health issues, but also great anxiety. And what I'm seeing is behind these swords of truth, there is this devil figure, and I'm wondering if he's extremely anxious that if he is no longer governor, there's going to be this truth come out of all this toxicity and addiction and vice and just ghastliness. However, below that we have temperance, a rebalancing, the King of Swords, which is the investigators, legal system, and the Magician, so manifesting possibilities. Can always also mean manipulation. So we'll have a look at a bit further of that. Working behind the scenes. These are the Disney lawyers. So what I'm getting is that these are the Disney lawyers working behind the scenes. And on the tower moment. So breaking down and reaping what you sow. Okay. Interesting. So what I've got here is this is actually DeSantis in his here and now. He's got this devil sitting behind these swords of truth and the anxiety. There will be a rebalancing coming together. So don't stress about this. This is about moderation coming forward because of the legal system working their magic, basically. Working their magic currently behind the scenes to cause complete and utter downfall. And DeSantis will reap what he sowed. So I don't think there's too much to worry about that. I heard Beau of the Fifth Column say the other day, what was the quote? Disney lawyers make piranhas look friendly or something like that. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Will this go to court? Will Disney take the Florida government to court, and how will that go? Will the Disney Corporation take the Florida government to court over this legislation, and how will that go? I'll do 3 cards for will it go to court, and then 3 cards to how will it go, please, Master. 3 cards. Will it go to court? How will it go? Oh, too many cards flung out. That's just me. Did get a single card fly out of Choices being made. Choices. I'll ask on that in a minute. But please, 3 cards each. Will it go to court? Will it go to court? Will it go to court? And what will be the outcome? 3 cards each, please. Because I've asked for 6 cards on 2 different topics, he's making me do a really good shuffle to make sure that they're at the top. Okay, yes, it is going to go to court. Yes, very much so. Go to court. They will look very closely at this contract that this has been made, this legislation, and it will, the tower moment. And how will it go? So yes, it will definitely go to court to the detriment. Actually, I'll bring you down because this is quite interesting to see what's above what. So what you've got here in this top line is 2 major arcana and an ace. Take note. Take important note. Yes, it will enter the legal system. The contracts will be, the legislation will be looked at very closely, and it will be destroyed, this legislation. It is about, there is coming this new financial beginning, this new start, as Disney, sorry, I'll just lift that slightly, didn't have the angle right there, as Disney reflect on these actions and consequences. And then we have this anxiety card again. So it will be, and moving on. So that's going to lead me to my next question. This is going to cause great anxiety in Florida as Disney potentially moves on. I'll have a look at that. Because, I mean, the Disney park is now, 50 years old? They're very possibly already thinking about wanting to renew. If they get enticements from other states, now I gather Colorado is putting some very, very delicious enticements for a new Disney World to be built in Colorado. But Disney's also got to be looking, and other businesses. Don't think this is just Disney. Also, other businesses will be looking at this as to, if this is what can happen, why would we set up business there? Now, if you think about it, without the Air Force bases, without something like Disney World there, what is left of Florida? Yes, it has some lovely beaches, but so does a lot of the rest of the United States. Their money, their income is majority from tourism. And if they don't have the attractions, will the tourists come? So will Disney leave Florida? Will Disney leave Florida? Wow, okay. Will Disney? Now, I've been to Disneyland once, I think when I was about 12 or something like that, with my parents. That was a long time ago. It's not my thing. Theme parks aren't my thing, but I do understand that some people love them and they are a vital draw card. You only have to look at the Gold Coast in Australia here. Theme parks, wall-to-wall theme parks, and that's what their tourism is based on. But tell me, will Disney leave Florida? Right. Right, thank you. Disney. Will Disney leave Florida? Oh. Picking up the bat and ball and going away. Oh, hang on. What have I got here? I've got, these cards have flipped over and they were sitting on top, which made me wonder which way up my deck was. Wow. Okay. Didn't exactly expect this. Okay, what have we got going here? Right, this is the signifier card, the 5, which is about dishonour and abuse of power and lies and all that sort of, winning at any cost, which is what the Republicans seem to be doing at the moment. They have no policy, but they're determined to win at any cost. But this is also very much about picking up the bat and ball. I'm drawn to these 2 figures in the background, sorry, I just put those down, that are walking away from this abuse of power and dishonesty. They're just walking away. They've had enough. They've thrown their weapons down and they're off. Wow, I suppose Disney's big enough to do that. This was a collective awakening. Now, this is not just about Disney. This is about all major corporations. So we've got this collective awakening and an inevitability happening. It is also double 10, so it's 20, 10, 10. It is very much an ending. Again, an ending. Packing up your stuff. It is burdensome. It's not easy. However, you looked at these perfectly balanced, these rods, and they're using one as a staff to help them move on, to help them move. So this is about plans and passions, moving on, walking away. So what have we got here? We've got this dishonour, we've got double 10, 10, 10 again. Intergenerational money. But if you have a look, this is an archway. So this is walking through this archway with this money, passing on the legacy. It is the ending of a legacy and it is passing it on to someone else, elsewhere, etc. There will be an offer made to Disney, possibly by Florida, but by somewhere else. It's a disappointing offer. It's not an offer that they want. And then we have this page of coins, which is a new financial start, but the page of coins is also very much about dreaming big and working hard. Well, that wasn't the outcome I actually expected. On the base, setting boundaries, victory, Knight of Wands, who is moving forward, inspired figure, crossroads, they're at a crossroads, and a harsh truth coming forward, giving and receiving help, which may be the other states making an offer to them. 7 of Wands, which is defending oneself, but also accepting the challenge, and then the King of Coins. And the King of Coins. Right, so if I keep going on the base, I've got this infighting, which is my Republican Party. Complete and utter downfall. Actions and consequences caused by this lies and deceit and abuse of power, leading to an isolation and a hankering in their naivety. Those cards are very much telling me that Disney's going to go. They're going to seriously look at packing up their bags. They've even if they win the court case, it'll be a stuff you, and they're off. And there will be other companies that may have considered investing in Florida who are now reconsidering their options. Ooh, note that one in the diary. Okay. Now, it won't happen overnight, but it will happen, to quote a famous New Zealand model, the advertisement. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. Okay, now, feeling a bit lightheaded with that, which is indicating that I'm spot on, so thank you, Meister. The CRT in the maths book, very quickly, harsh truth coming out in regards to that. Why? When I ever talk about DeSantis, this card comes up all the time. The sabotage, the deception, the lies, the winning at all costs, the abuse of power, isolation, investigation, and the legal system coming in regards to that, and karma is going to bite him on the bum. That was not the question I had in regards to this. He'll be forced to retreat, wounded in battle, and we've got both the King and the Queen of Swords. So he's in something's going to be revealed, some legal doo-doo in regards to that. So we've got the Ace, King and Queen of Swords, Ace, King, Queen and Knight of Swords all coming forward. A lot of truth's going to come out in regards to this abuse of power, this deception that's going to bite him on the bum. Now, that was not the question I was going to ask, but this is about the maths. This is about the book banning. That was about the book banning. Now, so it means that there's something behind it. Is this maths book banning a monetary decision to force everything back onto one publisher? So is DeSantis and his cronies getting some form of kickback by forcing all the maths books to this one publisher? Are they getting a financial kickback? It's DeSantis and his cronies. I'm just thinking of Billy Connolly, who lives in Florida at the moment, being absolutely horrified by what's going on. Yes, Billy. I'll read on you another day, Billy. Not today. I'm reading on DeSantis and his cronies. Is he getting a kickback in regard? No, Billy's not past. He's just very spiritual. He's just very aware. Too many flew out at once there. I was actually thinking of Billy Connolly, and I got these beautiful world cards, Messenger, Wheel of Fortune, which is very positive in regards to him. No, he's not dead. He is very spiritual, and he was just having a little chat there. So tell me, at least I don't think he's passed on. Not since I saw the news this morning. Anyhow, tell me, is DeSantis and his cronies getting a kickback in regards to these books? Oh my goodness, flinging out absolutely everywhere. So, however, these were obviously meant to come. This card, back again. This is DeSantis. There are messages that are going to come forward very quickly in regards to some contracts that were made. It's going to be a tower moment as actions have the consequences, and something is going to be revealed before it is rebalanced. So what have I got there? I've got a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes, a yes, and a no card. The only no card's this one. So yes. It's got nothing to do with critical race theory. It's all to do with a kickback. I didn't ask about money. I just said kickback. Okay. What do I want? Will DeSantis... let's have a look at him in the midterms. DeSantis in the midterms. So much gerrymandering has gone on in Florida that I don't know that the Republicans can actually lose. Looks like I'm going to have to do McCartney on a different day, but that's okay. May not even get to it, it's such a non-story. Apparently what was it? I can't even remember who he was. Oh, he was talking to Cheney, apparently, about, if you haven't seen it, McCartney, who's wanting to be, or is, the leader of the House. So Mitch is leader of the Senate for the Republicans, even though they don't have power. McCartney's the leader of the House. Between the election and the January 6th, the New York Times reported that he had called Liz Cheney and had talked about how Trump must resign or something. He can't do this. He's guilty. Blah blah blah. And apparently they discussed the 25th Amendment, which is when and they discussed Pence pardoning, but they didn't say pardoning who. So apparently the 25th Amendment, from what I understand from my Australian end of the world, correct me if I'm wrong, is that if a president cannot fulfil his duties, the vice president is automatically elevated to step up. So the conversation was about Pence pardoning somebody. So the big question is, who was he talking about pardoning? I think it's pardoning Trump, which means we're very interested in what Trump was actually doing that would require a pardon. All going to come out in the wash, hopefully. And then, of course, McCartney denied that he ever said that, so the New York Times released the tape. So he can't. Oh, that conversation. Thought you were talking about a different conversation. So there's a lot going on there. I don't know if I can even be bothered about it, but so I'll have a look to see how will DeSantis go in the midterm elections. DeSantis in the midterms. DeSantis, please tell me. These are my mystical manga cards, which I use for my political readings. Oops. Page of coins leapt out. Let's keep going with that. Tell me how DeSantis will go in for Florida in the midterms. DeSantis, Florida for the midterms. DeSantis, Florida for the midterms. DeSantis, Florida. Midterms. Okay. Let's have a look at this. So I got this page of coins as the signifier card, and I'm like, really, DeSantis? All about the money. All about the money. Dreaming big. Bringing forward a message. It's all about, for him, it's everything to do with money, because straight underneath it are the two trump cards, King of Coins and the Emperor. It's all about the money. Now this Strength card, again, I'm confused about why it is here, because it's usually about inner strength and compassionate power, which, in all honesty, are not things that I would assign to DeSantis, but I think what it is he has strength in his ties still to Trump and the money corruption and the money flowing from. And I think what's happened here is this, when I drew this card and I looked at it, the word that immediately sprung to mind was gerrymandering. So things have been manipulated in such a way that, because all the cups are still upright, that everything seems legit, but this is Florida knowing that just not being happy with the result. And then we've got this Ace of Wands, new start, Queen of Wands, inspired figure, okay, the Moon, the Hermit. The lies and deception, abuse of power, having to defend himself, the foolishness, and investigation. Okay, so we'll just run through these cards quickly because I just threw them out at you. I'm getting this is the disappointment of the Floridian people. This is the new start, but it's almost like an aggressive new start. So what I'm seeing is that this is very possibly the Republicans going in gung-ho, yeah, yay, this is us, we're inspiring, we've inspired, we've achieved it all, this is our plan, etc. But then the murkiness is going to come out, the seedy underbelly is going to come forward. It's going to be under investigation. Don't know what's going to happen. These results are going to fall under investigation. This abuse of power. DeSantis is going to have to defend himself in regards to this abuse of power and his foolishness. His foolishness. And then we have this. So these are the lawmakers and the legal system, and the harsh truth being revealed, and he's going to have to walk away as something is revealed, and justice, actions and consequences and justice. So I am getting very much the feeling that due to the manipulation, DeSantis is going to appear to win. And it will be because of, so you've got the Emperor and the King of Coins, which is Trump, and potentially Russia manipulating things behind the scenes, and then they're going to go, woohoo, yee yaha, look at me, I'm this wonderful figure. But then there's going to be things that are going to come out that are a little bit, not quite right. Not quite right. Okay, very quickly, because we're up to 32 minutes already, and I do apologise for that. I do tend to waffle. Quick look at the Abbott-Beto midterms, especially with Abbott in regards to, so what was he doing? It was a political stunt where he then started claiming that there were illegal immigrants coming over in trucks or something from the Mexican border, so he stuck up a second border inspection, whatever. Trucks were left sitting in the sweltering sun for days on end, and $240 million worth of fruit and vegetables were spoilt. So, people of the US, your fruit and vegetable prices will go up, they will be harder to come by, and this is all due to Mr. Abbott. Okay, excuse me for 2 seconds. I don't know whether that was my frustration coming forward. Okay, let's have a look. What did we have spring out here? He thought it was a great idea. All about money for him. He thought it was a great idea. He made a decision at a crossroads, made a choice, and it came back to bite him as his plan came to an inevitable end. So I just want to have a look at him in regards to the election. So please tell me, how will... look at it from Abbott's side. Normally I look at it from Beto's side, and I do see Beto getting up in the past on the energies at that time. But I think, with the electricity issues and this food issues and this lack of renewable forward thinking and the lack of just progressive thoughts for... Oh, I've got a couple of horses riding down the street. Isn't that lovely? Anything happens in Australia. Tell me about Abbott. How will Abbott go in the midterms? How will Abbott, Texas, go in the midterms? How will Abbott, Texas, go in the midterms? Abbott and Texas. Abbott, Texas, in the midterms. Abbott, Texas. Okay. Government. Inevitable ending. Oh, I like that. Due to his naivety, Tower. Do I have to go any further? 3 major arcana, which says take notice. This is spot on. Surrounding by his wanting to go back to the past in his naivety. Oh, why did I not expect that as the next card? And the voter coming out. The voter coming out. So, yeah. Stick that one in the diary too and see what happens. So, yes, I see Abbott. And I have always seen Beto getting up in regards to that, so I'm not surprised there. Looking forward to it. Okay. Sorry it went so long. Take care. Look after yourselves. Big cheerio to your neighbours and your community members. Look after your family. Love to you all. Have a brilliant week and take care. Bye-bye.